Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. I am your host, BitBoy. Today, we are going to be talking about Tether. We're going to be talking about Dan Larimer in favor of centralization. We're going to talk about CZ from Binance saying that one day there may be a bull run. And then I'm going to give you, we're going to talk about John McAfee saying that a $1 million Bitcoin by 2020 is conservative. We're going to talk about why that is, and then I'm going to give you, in my opinion, the only two ways that that will actually happen. So, but before we go any further, make sure you are a subscriber to our channel. We call our channel the Bit Squad. All you got to do is click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and boom, you're in the Bit Squad. And as a member of the Bit Squad, you have the opportunity to win $500 in Ethereum and merch for October and November. Also, we have a Niffler competition that's coming up soon. I asked you guys to sign up for it. We've got to get 150 signups before we can actually move forward with the competition. And you have to have, it has to be a new Niffler account. It can't be someone who's already signed up for it. We have 6 sign up, guys. I'm trying to give away a free ledger, $100 in crypto, but we got to have 150 people sign up. So make sure you go to the link above. I'll put it in the video, and make sure you go there and sign up so we can get this competition started. Okay, guys, let's jump into it right now as we're looking at the markets. Blah, 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 boring, boring, boring. Same old, same old. We're at 6,400. Bitcoin dominance a little above 52%. It just seems like all the same stuff. 213 billion, pretty much exactly what it was yesterday. Bitcoin over the last 1 year is up about $300. So there's some positive news for you. But, you know, looking at the biggest gainers of the day, we have MOAC and NIM had some pretty big spikes. Ethera is popping up again. Don't know anything about that one. And, you know, we do have some winners today. We do have some losers as well. Most being in about the -2 to 2% range for the second day in a row. So very non-interesting. So if we look at the biggest losers, we have Veritasium down 6.5%. Wax is down a little over 5% on a correction. It's actually had a pretty good week. And I just really get tired of looking at these numbers because they're just so boring. So, sorry. If you were tuning in to see what percentage your altcoins pumped or dumped, today was not the day to do it. So let's jump into the news. We've got Tether printed 750 new grants, or Tether tokens, as some people refer to them as. And, you know, it's very interesting because usually the price goes up. And it didn't go up. The price of Bitcoin usually goes up when we see these Tether grants printed. And today we didn't really see it. So I don't know if that should be more concerning or less concerning. Just not really sure. But I wouldn't be surprised if we did get a bit of a pump from this. At least maybe going up back to 6,500 in the next 24 hours. But not financial advice. We also may not see that. So, you know, Tether just prints money whenever they feel like it. So now let's look at this story with EOS here. So EOS centralization reportedly in action, arbitrators able to reverse transactions. So basically, EOS has now been able to reverse transactions, right? Which isn't that what decentralization is all about? Is not being able to do that? Isn't that what we're trying to fight against? The middlemen, they're able to control our transactions and make money off of them. And then EOS comes to the table and they have a $4 billion ICO where they use you to be able to raise it. And now Dan Larimer says decentralization is not their goal. Well, if decentralization is not the goal of EOS and it's not the goal of what we're trying to do with cryptocurrency, then what is? Well, if you just want to have centralized you know, systems, we already have those. They're called computers and phones. We're already able to run apps centralized on those. So for me, it's a little weird to hear him say that. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of Dan Larimer. I think that he leaves everything he's ever made. And, you know, I just don't really like where this is heading with EOS. I've been on record many times as saying that I believe EOS is probably the biggest disaster in crypto in waiting. If you're heavily invested in it, once again, not financial advice, I would really look at the details of what's going on with EOS because I think we're really heading towards a disaster, if you will, with this project. Who knows? Maybe it will be the cause of the next bear market. I'm not really sure whenever we finally do go to a bull market. But here's the quote directly from him. It says, decentralization is not what we are after, said Daniel Larimer, the creator of the EOS protocol, in an interview to YouTube channel Colin Talks Crypto. So, I don't know. Just seeing that he actually said that, ugh, it just kind of sickens me. It just drives home everything I've already thought about EOS and about Dan Larimer as a person and as a developer and as an entrepreneur. This is not a project I'm touching. I can promise you I will never own one EOS token. Unless, of course, it's the currency of the world and I'm forced to. Okay, so now speaking of bull runs, we have Binance CEO, Changpeng Zhao, also known as CZ. I wanted you guys to see this article headline here. Binance CEO predicts a Bitcoin and crypto bull run. And I was reading the comments on this story on Reddit and in the cryptocurrency subreddit, and people are like, oh yeah, he's predicted that for the 20th time. But then you actually get into the details of what he actually said, and this is like such a clickbaity article. It says, even if I don't know what will catalyze a Bitcoin bull run, I'm certain it will happen. Sooner or later, something will trigger it. I hope so. I hope one day we'll have another bull run. I mean, we're just in a market cycle right now, guys. We're in a bear market. A bull run will come. But as you see with the stock world, I mean, they've been on a bull run for like, I don't know what it is. Don't quote me to this, but like 6 or 7 years now. It's crazy how long the run has been on. A lot of people are thinking that is ending right now, or maybe it already has. But we don't know how long we're going to be in this bear market. It might be years. I certainly hope not. I'm thinking closer to months than years, or maybe even weeks. On the bright side, that could be the best possibility. But yes, one day we are going to have a bull run. I just don't know when it's going to be. And I think CZ's basically saying that here is one day we'll have one. Don't know when. So I thought this was a really clickbaity article, and it was just weird to actually read the quote compared to what the title was. So here we have McAfee's Bitcoin prediction. We all know the bet that he made. If you don't know, you can Google it. Not going to talk about it on the channel, but Bitcoin at 1 million by 2020 is conservative. That is the latest quote from John McAfee, and I want to get down here where he talks about why. He says, the article says, just a few days ago, Ethereum World News reported that Dyer, one of the crypto industry's leading newsletter publications, noted that the number of on-chain Bitcoin transactions throughout Q3 has breached a quarterly year-to-date high, ousting Q1 by a relatively mere 70,000 transactions, but still outdoing it. Dyer's authors also revealed that Bitcoin transaction counts have been increasing month over month by approximately 3 to 5% for the past 9, making McAfee's claims more valid. So basically what he's saying is that in this article is that there are more transactions occurring now than there were in Q1. And if you think about the excitement in Q1, it was still there. When the price dropped in January and then another drop in February, it really seemed like it was kind of like shock. Like people were still super interested in crypto. And the day that people stopped being interested in crypto was the day I started my channel. So that was sometime in March. But, for January, February, and March, there was still a lot of excitement about crypto. And there was still a lot, people were making transactions. It would seem at a much higher rate than right now. Because it's not just crypto that's in a bear market, if you will. Crypto YouTube is in a bear market. Crypto Twitter is also in a bear market. What I mean by that is it's so much harder to get subscribers and views on your videos right now than it was this time last year. And the same thing on Twitter. It was easy to get a ton of followers each day because new people were coming in, but now that really has completely ceased. And so to know that right now, while it seems like YouTube and Twitter and the crypto community in general is at the bare bones, and the fact that we've had more transactions in Q3 than Q1 this year, that really blew me away. And I think what we're seeing is we're in a financial down cycle right now, right? The bear market, the price is down. But that is not really reflective of everything that's going on in the background, everything that's moving us towards adoption and moving us toward mainstream. I did a video a couple days ago where I talked about, I just don't know if there's really a connection between the price and how mainstream crypto is. The price just comes down to how much someone is willing to buy it for or sell it for. But with a mainstream or adoption, it's really how much are people using it. And what we're seeing right now is people are using it more than they were at the beginning of the year, and that's good news. But I want to give you guys the only two ways that I can see Bitcoin reaching $1 million by 2020. We have other people with some other crazy estimates also, or not necessarily crazy, but Tim Draper, which in my opinion, this may be a little more realistic, which he says 2022 would be 250,000. But let's talk about $1 million by 2020. How could this possibly happen? Well, there's only two ways, and really these two ways both are the two ways that I see crypto going. It's going to go in either one of these directions, but it would have to happen very quickly in extreme and in a very extreme way to reach this number by 2020. The first way is if we have a huge financial collapse, which a lot of people predict in America or in another part of the world, and that huge financial collapse leads people to want to invest in something like gold or silver or Bitcoin as an asset where they can hedge their money and keep it valuable while their native dollar or currency goes down. That's one way. If we had a huge financial collapse and everybody started treating Bitcoin like the new gold, we could see the price skyrocket. The second way that this could happen would be if the majority of the world's countries decided to use cryptocurrency, Bitcoin specifically, as their native currency. Now, I've worked a couple numbers on this, and basically, between China, the United States, and all of the countries that use the euro, that takes up about 2 billion of the world's population, which is sitting at a little over 7 billion. So what that means is there are still 5 billion people out there in countries, and the majority of those countries that don't use those currencies would be able to use something like Bitcoin, because those countries, 2/3 of the world's countries, it costs more to actually print their money than the money is worth. So if a lot of these countries, maybe countries in the Middle East, countries in South America, countries in Southeast Asia, if they all decided that they wanted to move towards a digital currency to save money, and because it makes more sense, and because the majority of people in the world right now have a cell phone and can actually make transactions with cryptocurrency very easily, even people that aren't banked. Of course, we know part of crypto is banking the unbanked. If that happens, it would have to happen very, very fast. But if that happened by 2020, we could see a $1 million Bitcoin. Honestly, I think the fastest way to a $1 million Bitcoin is actually a huge financial collapse somewhere and people hedging with Bitcoin. And that coupled with maybe a bull run that would already be ongoing could shoot the price way up. I think we probably need about 3 to 4 more bull runs to get the price up to $1 million. I think it's inevitable in either one of those cases. I believe it's inevitable. We will get to a $1 million Bitcoin, but it's just which one and how quick and how extreme will it be? So that's all I got for you guys today. That was a pretty interesting discussion I thought I want to have with you guys. So drop me a comment below. Let me know, do you think Bitcoin will reach $1 million? And if so, let me know when you think that will happen. So also, guys, got a live stream later tonight. Make sure you guys stay tuned in for that. Sign up for the Niffler competition. Until next time, BitBoy out.